Stoops.
Thank you, Tony. Really looking forward to getting started here week one. It's been a long off season, as you know. We started this year just a few days early, and it's always a long camp, and anxious to get started. Really looking forward to the challenge of playing Miami of Ohio. Coach Martin's been there 9 years, a lot of continuity in his program. Very well-coached football team, a team that's picked to win their division and play in the MAC championship, so we'll have our hands full. I really like the preparation that our team has made throughout the summer, throughout this preseason camp. We're in relatively good shape health-wise, and again, I think it's just that time. You guys have heard me speak. There's been quite a few luncheons and dinners and things of that nature, and a lot of the preseason talk really wraps up today, which I think we're all looking forward to. I know you all got a lot of coverage and appreciate the coverage that you've done to this point and will continue to do throughout the season. And for us, it's about really getting focused in and that attention to detail, getting dialed in on Miami, and ready to play our first game. First games, I'll get the question probably today, are you nervous, anxious, whatever. I think first games are always unique because you have a pretty good idea of what you have, but you don't know until you go play a football game. I have confidence in this team. I have confidence in the leadership. I have confidence in the preparation that we've done to this point. Now it's time to go put it on the field and block out everything and really concentrate and have a great attention to detail this week, great focus this week, and go play it one day at a time, one play in particular. I think that's a big message early on because, you know, guys work so hard and so much going on, they're just ready to go, and you could get ahead of yourself, and we can't do that. You all have been here and covered my 9 years, and things don't always go according to plan. You know, you have to adapt and overcome to any situation and be prepared for it and just really focus and concentrate and be dialed in for this week's preparation, and then one play at a time. So looking forward to getting started.
Questions?
Mark, obviously, Chris isn't on the depth chart. Can you announce how long that suspension is?
Yeah, we're discussing that because I knew that would be the first follow-up. And I want to say I appreciate the respect that you all have had through this process, really. When I think you guys know a lot of times because I'm very open and honest with you, you guys are very respectful in return. When I have something to say, we'll say it. I just have to say that these players have some rights as well, and I have to be very conscientious of that. I expect a few of them to have multiple game suspensions, but I don't know. I really, you know, I'll address it next week. I expect maybe one of them to be back next week, but we'll see how that goes.
Did you clarify which players are suspended and which ones aren't on there because of the injury?
I didn't say suspended. You did. They're unavailable to play.
And obviously there was a lot of focus on Chris, the DUI plea. Can you at least confirm that there is a second issue that's been talked a lot about, speculated a lot about?
No, I cannot.
Kenneth Dorsey's been starting a long time, and he's second on the depth chart. Is that
Only because he's been hurt. He's been, and we hope to get him out there today, but he's not at 100% right now.
is it also a little bit of impact on Jagger's camp as well?
Well, Jagger's done a wonderful job, and so Kenneth is a great leader and you know, a starter on this football team when he's healthy. He's not at 100% right now, but we love what we've seen out of Jagger. So it would be easy for me to list Jagger as a starter. You know, so he's really played well, and we're excited about him.
There's a lot of talk about the freshmen throughout the preseason. I think I counted 6 on the 2 deep, including the starters at receiver.
I have eight. I figured I'd get that question today, and the other day I knew when I said 6, 7, 8, whatever I said. But I think 8 will play for sure. Definitely, probably little chance to be redshirted unless they get injured. And then as many as 12 could play this year. True freshmen, I'm talking.
Overall, how pleased are you with how the freshmen have developed to this point?
I'm very pleased. Mentioned it a couple times, just really like the way they're preparing, the way they're playing. Consistency is what we're looking at, and and you've covered it a long time, football, there's ups and there's downs and there's highs and there's lows, and freshmen have a tendency to go through that, and how they respond to it will determine, how much playing time and how they do this season. They've been very consistent to this point. Not perfect, like most of our guys, but I really like the athleticism, the work ethic, and the attitude of these guys as a group. There's some guys that are getting headlines, and they should, and they're playing and doing very well. And there's others that are just not quite ready, but I absolutely love their athleticism and their attitude and the way they're gonna play. There's guys, and there's even a couple redshirt freshmen that maybe, we're not talking about, that they just need to continue to stay the course. And I really feel like there's some really good players in there.
Keegan's listed as a starter in the depth chart. Just what have you seen from him overall through fall camp?
Yeah, Kedron and Andrew are interchangeable at that position. It's starting, and Andrew will start at nickel for us. Alex Safari, we could go three ways with who's out there on the first play of the game defensively, depending on personnel, whether it's Keaton, whether it's Alex, or whether it's Andrew. And so,
In the secondary this year, do you see just more of kind of, y'all want to get, I guess, more guys in there, get less snaps up from the starters?
Well, that's twofold. You look at things as the best 11,
Right.
and that's part of it. But then there's also a function within our defense, depending on the personnel that they're having and the style that they play. So it just depends.
David Wallabaugh is listed as the starting left tackle. What went into that decision? And then is DeAndre Buford, do you see more as the right tackle in that move there?
DeAndre could play either side, and is worked both sides, and and we've experimented at left tackle and gave everybody a chance, and David has been the most consistent. That's why he's getting the start. Keontae is still doing some very good things and coming along, and DeAndre is as well.
Mark, MAC teams have come in here and given Kentucky some trouble for years, and even won here. What can you tell people? What do people need to know about the level of athlete that plays on these teams and maybe been overlooked by Power Fives or whatever?
Well,
'Cause a lot of them are Ohio State.
Well, there's, without a doubt, I think, I believe everybody in this room, knows that because you cover the sport and realize how good a football is played in the MAC. And we have the luxury of playing this team who's picked to win their division, playing the championship game, and they have a really good quarterback. So anytime you have you're really well coached and you have a good quarterback, I can promise you this: they're not they're ready to come in here and play. I think it was game 2 last year. They went out and played into a one-score game at Minnesota, and had opportunities to win. And they're a very good football team. And Coach Martin, he's been around. He's coach of the year at a lower level where they won at a high level. And then he's been at Notre Dame and had great success there as a play caller and offense coordinator, and has been here for 9 years building this program. And they're extremely well coached on both sides of the ball and on special teams, and they're going to play very good, sound football. You've heard me say this before. You like it that way because you have to go beat these guys. They're not going to give it to you. You have to go earn it. You have to go beat them. You have to go play well. They're going to be very good. There's some very talented players. You look at their defense. You look at their inside linebackers, one of which was injured a year ago, but he's a 6th-year player and is one heck of a ball player. A lot of experience inside on their defense. They have a disruptive player in their nose guard. They have a corner that really stands out, and offensively, a stable running backs, a quarterback that can play at a high level, and and they want to take their shots. They're going to get the ball down the field. They're very efficient in their run game, not overly complex. They dress it up with what a lot of people do on the perimeter to set up shots, to set up plays down the field in a creative way, which will make us really be prepared.
Mark, what did Deuce Hogan do at the number 2 quarterback? What did he show?
Yeah, just both guys, as I mentioned, I mean, wouldn't have been a big surprise either way. Both guys that did a lot of good things throughout camp. Consistency is what I would say. Kaya really showed some flashes that excites us, so you never know where that's going to go and how it'll end up as the season plays out. We have confidence in both of the backup quarterbacks, and so we'll see where it goes.
Mark, what about Gabbard have you seen on film that really stands out, things that he does well?
Well, he's athletic, he's experienced and just can make all the throws. He's just a good football player. We all understand that when you watch a team play and you see a quarterback that's poised and creative and does what's necessary to lead his team. He's just a very good player. A lot of respect for him.
I know it's close to a sellout for Saturday's game. What would it mean to open the season with that?
Yeah, that would be very good for our team. I think our team greatly appreciates that. They feel that energy. It's nice that we're kicking off in the evening, where it could be a little cooler and hopefully get a great night. And I really appreciate the fan base, and the season tickets are up and the student tickets are sold out, and we're expecting big crowds, and we greatly appreciate that. And we've been, you always heard me talk about that. I always appreciate it, and I know the sacrifice that they make, and I can promise you our team's worked exceptionally hard to go play well.
Does this lead up to this year feel any different than your previous decade or so of seasons?
Not really. Not to me. It really doesn't. No.
Mark, your first,
Your first
Except
win,
I'm getting old. Yeah.
Your first win was over.
Miami. Does that seem like a long time ago? What do you remember about
I
that?
didn't even really realize that till you told me that. Yeah. It does seem like a long time ago. I just said I was old. It's been a long, but grateful. This is year 10, and that was a long time ago. Much different team, and just try to stay in the moment. Just stay in our normal routine, getting the team ready to play. It's exciting. I will say it's exciting. This Monday of game week. We're going to be here every Monday, and God willing, and just that's always exciting. Coming off a win, a loss, you name it. Getting the team prepped for the next opponent and getting in game week routine is something that's exciting.
Mark, we know Smoke has experience, but what do you expect from him as he takes kind of a bigger role, especially in this opening game?
Yeah, we expect him to be who he is. He has this opportunity right now, and we're excited. I'm excited for him and to see what he does with it. And I have a good feeling what he'll do, because I've seen him play through the years. I've seen his preparation. I like the way he's responded this camp. I think the coaches put pressure on him because we expect a lot out of him, and we want to see that consistency. And I'm proud of the way he's responded the past couple weeks, because he didn't start out there. He didn't start out in the start, the number one spot. Whether Chris was there or not, he's worked his way.
I think in the open practice we saw in the spring, Cavassier was like 5th at one point in the running back. Or Rich talked last week about how much he's matured. Where have you seen maybe off the field as he does some of those things?
Well, again, he's responded the right way. He's taking the coaching, he's taking the criticism in the proper way to make him better. Realizing that these coaches are have high expectations for him, and our standard is high, and he's responded to that. I really don't want to get into the negatives. I want to look at the positives that he's done, and he's handled it. He's done it. He put himself in a position to get this start, and I'm excited for him.
You have a lot of guys at that position, but
Ramona's the other guy on the depth chart. What did he do over the course of this game to impress you guys?
Yeah, he really stood out in the second scrimmage. I think it's also, as you can understand, it's difficult for those guys because of reps. You know, we have a lot of good players, and you know, you not many other positions you could go through camp and you have 3, 4 deep, and you could go that hard at that. You know, but at that position, we are deeper. So to get the touches and to prove themselves, they have to do that when they get their opportunities and make the most of their opportunities. We still have a great deal of confidence with the others, and there's still different packages. So that's just the way it's listed. It's not, you know, after the game, they may see a different rep count, you know, so we'll just see the way it goes.
Mark, there doesn't appear to be a strong side linebacker on the depth chart. Is Woody Wright one of the players who's unavailable?
Yes.
Mark, in terms of those unavailable players, what in the process is delaying the decision from either you or the athletic department in evaluating their status when it comes to games?
No, there's always layers to things. It's not just, it's not always black and white. And again, the players have rights, and there's processes that are involved, and that's where we're at.
Mark, I assume you've heard about Walt. And
Yeah.
you talked over-
I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to recognize that and just say that our thoughts and our prayers are with Walt and his family. I really love Walt. I'm really close to Walt. He's just a really good person. Really enjoyed having him on our staff and being around him, and really try to help him and help each other as much as we can with him. Just being down the road and just really, you know, just praying for him and thinking about him. He's just a really good person, great family, and I hope everything goes well for him. I was sick when I heard about it. You know, just it's not a good feeling.
We'll probably talk about the special teams less than anything leading up to the opener in camp. How did you like the way those guys finished up the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I really feel good about it. You know, I feel like it's very unusual, as we mentioned before, you know, to feel like you have a 2 deep at kicker and punter, you know, and feel like you have confidence in 4 of those guys. And so, you know, that's a good thing. You know, Wilson coming back, a year ago he was bothered by an injury, and just seeing him come back and really punting the ball extremely well, that gives us depth there and a bright future, and, you know, he's really doing well. And you know, of course, Ruff has been very consistent. I feel like his leg is stronger. He's worked hard. His consistency is up. So that's a good thing. Chance is still very, very, you know, strong at kickoffs and could kick some long field goals if we had to. And Smith is really coming along. So really, you know, I really feel like we got 5 guys that could kick, you know, so.
Some exciting options in the return game too.
Yeah, the return game I'm excited about. Yeah, I feel like Barry on kick returns will give us some juice. You know, give us a guy that can really hit it. You know, we have other options there that we could go to as well, but that you know, will be good to see. And then Tavion has been a proven punt returner.
I know you hate talking about personal achievements and stuff, but did you ever think 9 years ago when you took this job, we'd be sitting here and you're 1 game away from tying Bear Bryant?
No. Just didn't think about it, you know, just never really, it's not something you sit there and think about, you know, just grateful to be here, you know, just like we just talked about Walt and other things, that sometimes things are out of your control, but obviously want more, you know, want more success, want more victories, and want to continue to get the program to higher heights, and going to continue to grind away at that.
Well, tying Bear Bryant, would that be a big for them to have what we put in?
I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, I think we just got to continue to, you know, work hard at it and do the things necessary. And you know, I'm not sure.
In your opinion, anybody there makes a very reason? I won't say means nothing, but it's just not a big deal in terms of feather in the hat.
Yeah, I don't really spend any time thinking about that. I would never want to disrespect the name Paul Bear Bryant, because I think everybody that understands football, puts that name at the very top, along with maybe one other guy right now. Yeah, so but so that means something. But it's totally different. This is. I'd rather them be comparing me to how many national championships I won like him. So you can't. I would never put my name in the same regard as him. I mean, I'm grateful for what we've done here and appreciative and proud, but certainly not the same thing, of the accomplishments that he made, to our sport at multiple schools, so. That's not me. Make sure everybody's clear about that. I'm not putting my name in the same category as him. I have ultimate respect for the job that he did.
To go back to those young guys who are going to be playing in their first game, I don't know, schematically, do you try to do things to ease them in, or is it just...
Yeah, it's something that you got to, be prepared for. It's something I've thought about, because, you're always, new team, you're going to go into it with some inexperience, at certain spots, and so, it's something that we have to be ready for and prepared for. And we have depth, we have experience, we have good guys around them. We need them to be a part of a team, and not just feel like, by themselves they have to do anything special. And I think that is a message that all the players need to understand, especially in week one. It's something that I will hit them over the head with this week about doing their job and focusing on their job, because the bright lights do come on and you're coming into a stadium and everybody wants to do a lot. And, you've heard that before. It's, D linemen wanting to do somebody else's job, instead of taking care of the primary, so they'll hear the word primary a lot this week. Do their primary responsibility first, and then play ball.
In other words, stay in the lane.
Primary.
Did you get a chance to watch any of the games from this past weekend? Did anything jump off at you and say, oh yeah?
I got a chance to watch my boys, so I was busy watching my kids, which was good. But I watched just a bit of Nebraska, Northwestern. So, and that, for us, another point about, just in the same lines with primary is, and the team will hear this a lot. I mean, you can't beat anybody until you don't stop beating yourself. And we weren't fantastic last year with the turnovers, turnover margin. And we don't harp on it. I don't want our team to play scared. I want to play fast, aggressive, physical. But we have to eliminate mistakes, or you're not going to beat a quality team like Miami or anybody. You can't beat anybody unless you just stop beating yourself. And we've been disciplined. We've been good in this camp. But last year we were negative a bunch in turnovers, and we have to get that rectified right from the start.
Rich recently talked about the young receivers and their grasp of the new offense and how that comes along. How have you seen them adjust to that in terms of how fast they're playing and how they're processing that?
Well, I've been pleased. They're very instinctual players, and that's that helps. And so as I mentioned, there's highs and lows, and every player on our team is going to have some ups and some downs this year. And freshmen have a tendency over the years, to have higher highs and lower lows, and we want consistency out of them. I've been pleased with what I've seen so far. Again, they haven't been perfect, but they've handled things very well.
Mark, you used the word grinding a few minutes ago, and you've obviously done that for these 9 or 10 years. And your veteran players, it appears, have bought into that as we've talked to them. How challenging is that to impart those lessons to younger players, the guys first come in, because they all want everything right away?
Yeah, it's a great point. And, it is something that, we discuss. And, you know, it's something that I discuss with my own children. It's like, and in this day and age and in this time and with the portal and all those things, people have a tendency to focus on others, you know, and you really just got to concentrate on yourself. And that's something that, you know, I just, again, have a conversation with my own boys. You know, it's like, don't worry about it. You know, like you worry about yourself. And I'm proud of my oldest just that way. The transition he's made in the last year, like it really doesn't matter. It's the same with our players. We have terrific players that we're not talking about right now, but we may be halfway through this year, at the end of the year, next year. Who knows? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road. You don't often see that, and you know this, but there are very good football players on this roster that got to continue to grind, continue to do their job, continue to take the medicine that the coaches are giving them, and eventually they will develop into what they can be. And, you know, that's a lesson for anybody in any sport.
Following up on that process you alluded to earlier, did you expect to have a decision this week, or did you receive new information to make you revisit a decision on the statuses of those
On what?
on the status of those unavailable players? Did you expect to have a decision this week, or did you get new information to revisit?
No, I've been in tune to the situation for a while. I haven't been withholding. It's just, you know, things change, you know, and I'm sorry, you seem to be new, but no, you've been around? Okay, not a familiar face, sorry. But you know, things evolve, things change, information comes and goes. There's different layers to things. That means there's multiple different entities involved. I prefer not to dig any more into that. I'm not withholding anything. You know, I've been pretty in tune to what I felt like things were going to happen, but I have bosses, and they have bosses, and so on.
Mark, to see so many of the guys that play the high school ball right down the street or around here in this area starting year 2 depth, what do you think it says about the quality of ball that's played right here for them to come in and be ready to impact?
Really, you know, I'm happy, you know, to see that. I love to see all of our young people have success. And, you know, certainly, you know, to have guys locally means a lot. You know, it's exciting. I think it's exciting for the people that have watched them in high school. It'll continue to help build the high school football in this area, in this community, and throughout the state. And, you know, there's been a lot of impactful players for us throughout the years that have come from Kentucky, that's for sure. We're grateful to all of them, and I feel like some of these guys are going to really stand out in the next couple of years.
Obviously, you'd take Wandale back if he were going to come back, but what are the
Sure would. Yeah.
growing in terms of spreading the ball around a little more, having multiple big play threats out
Well,
there?
I said this a while ago, and you know, you have to prove it day to day, week to week, and we still we have to go play games, you know, and so I hope we're talking about this because I feel like there is more, you know, and you've heard me comment on that and talk about that, and I feel like there is depth in that room, and I feel like certainly for the first time since I've been here, you know, I've been here 9 years and going into 10, I feel like that room is explosive. And I feel like there's some young guys that maybe aren't on the too deep that are going to be very, very good football players. And, you know, and guys like DeKel, you know what I mean, that are going to continue to get better, continue to grow. He missed all last year. And sometimes I have to remind him, I'm like, you're like a true, basically like a freshman himself, you know, with the injuries he's had. But, you know, there's really good players in that room. And so we have to go prove it. And we have to go play, John, and we'll see, you know, where that goes. But I believe in that room. I think it's talented. Well, I know it's as talented as it's been since I've been here.
It don't seem to lack much confidence in that room, even being that young. Have you seen receiver room with that much swagger this early?
Well, they're pretty respectable on that field. I don't know. You know, the defense. Don't worry, they're not going to take much from those guys. So, but no, they're a good group. They have really good attitudes. I really like them. You know, I do like their confidence. I don't think they're out of line. You know, I feel like they're out there very respectful of the game and really with their preparation, their consistency, competitive nature, and also hungry because they know they need to get better. So I really like the overall attitude of the group. I really do. I feel like they're going to get better and better.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Radio show tonight, we'll have practice tomorrow with the